This is 2b2t, a Minecraft server that most would refer to as...
The oldest anarchy server in Minecraft.
Okay, that was pretty funny, you gotta admit it. Anyways, 2b2t is an anarchy server, which means that you can grief, you can hack, and you can build and say literally anything you want. Oh, and one more thing, if you want to get in, it's not a huge deal, just a 7.5 hour wait. Yes, not even 2 seconds into the video and I'm already getting mauled by withers. I did not survive that encounter, by the way. But it's fine because I respawned on top of the obsidian layer 250 blocks above the ground. You have got to be kidding me. I saw a hole in the floor and just jumped in the general area of some water. Safe to say I did not make it there. And now we're right back to where we started for the third time. Except it's different this time. I found a portal, which is actually an awesome find on 2b2t, because portals let you escape the terrible nightmare dimension called the spawn 7 times faster. I went through the portal and was put directly into a trap. As you can see, the trapping operation was quite extensive actually. There were like 30 portals in this setup that these guys were running, as well as some other people trapped as well. Eventually someone took pity on me and killed me, but that just puts us right back to where we started yet again. I respawned right next to the remains of a broken swastika this time and made my way to a portal. I went through the portal and I'm trapped yet again. Just an FYI, mining obsidian with your hands does not work very well. Eventually the game just sent me back through the portal I went in for some reason. I didn't know why, but I wasn't gonna take it for granted. I then fell to my death and was killed by a wither. I think you get the idea of how this server goes. Upon respawning again, I went through another portal and finally it spit me out next to another highway. Nether highways are long roads of obsidian used to travel long distances in 2b2t, so I was pretty happy. After walking along the Nether road for a while, I stumbled upon these signs. They advertised a place called Old Town where all people were welcome. I was a little skeptical but decided to go anyways because it wasn't too far away. After walking 800 blocks, I went through their portal and got off here, wherever here is. Whatever it was messed up pretty good, but I was able to get some wood and make some stone tools, so that was a big step forwards. Some guy showed up a few minutes later, but he was friendly and left me alone for the most part. He followed me around for a bit, then got disinterested and left after a few minutes. So I hopped back on the Nether highway in pursuit of a better life. As I was walking along the highway, I stumbled upon the aftermath of a fight between some players. There were end crystals everywhere, but some pretty good loot on the floor. Fun little 2b2t fact, players PvP with end crystals because detonating one of these things next to somebody is the real life equivalent of a thermonuclear bomb. I walked along the path for a little while longer until I saw a portal in the distance. It was this point in the video I made my biggest mistake. I went through this portal, which was way too close to spawn. And when I went through, I immediately knew it was too close to spawn. There was no trees, there was blocks everywhere, so I went back through. Except when I went back through, I was at a completely different nether portal. So I had to climb up this massive staircase to get out, and it took like 4 minutes. Then when I finally got out, I went to go and kill some zombie pigmen for rotten flesh, failed miserably, and then this happened. And I have never been more disappointed in my entire life. I was so fed up at this point. I was gonna stop the recording if I died again. So I started the entire process over. Find another portal. Done. Find another highway. Done. This one's actually diagonal, which is pretty cool. Walk, 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 and walk. I walked until I was way farther out than the first time. And then I went through a portal. It spit me out by what looked to be a semi-griefed base, but it didn't really matter to me at this point. First, I went down to the skeleton farm and got some armor and tools. Then I walked into the nearby forest and gathered some materials. I also harvested the nearby farm and made some bread because I needed food. It was around this point in the video where I was really wondering what was going on here. What was this place? So I took a closer look. I saw a door on a hillside, so I headed over to check it out. I went inside and it seems like this whole place was set up by other players just for people like me. The whole indoor area was a large wheat farm with a mine connected to it. It was also filled with signs thanking the original builders. The oldest being from 8 months ago in January and the newest from just a few weeks ago. I guess some 2v2 players aren't that bad after all. It was at this exact point in the video that I started to see the intricacies of 2b2t. I understood that this server ran far deeper than I originally expected. expected. I saw the two sides of the same coin. At spawn, it was a hellscape with lava casts and withers, but here, just a few minutes through the Nether, there were people who wanted to help you and wanted you to have fun and succeed. I really liked the way that sat with me, so I just started to build a house. I threw down some foundation, built some walls, threw a roof on, and called it mine. I even went to go and kill some spiders to get a bed to make sure that if I ever came back to this server, it would be right here. And as my final act, I went over to the wheat farm and left my own thank you note to the original builders who helped me see beyond the flare of all the destruction and chaos. And as I stood there in front of my base, I realized that I had won. I had beaten 2b2t at its own game, I had successfully escaped spawn, and started to progress. So, I guess I'm gonna finish this off by saying thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the 2022 2b2t experience.